Okay, Bears, we need to go back to page 157, 158, and do long division with facts and near facts. Now, these are easy division problems in which some of the divisors will go evenly into the dividend, but sometimes there will be a remainder. So I need you to have your steps handy so you don't leave anything out. And let's look at this first example. $23 divided by 3. And it says to think of 23 pencils divided equally into 3 cups. So you're going to divide first. You say 2 divided by 3. Well, you can't do that. How many times will 3 go into 2? It won't. You either leave that blank or you can put an X. How many times will 3 go into 23? It will go 7 times. Then you're going to multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. And then you're going to subtract, and you have 2 left over. You compare to see if this number, remember this becomes your new dividend. Is this number less than this one? Yes, it is. There's nothing to bring down, so this becomes your remainder. So you have 7 pencils in each set with 2 left over. Okay, let's go to number 1. 25 divided by 4. Think baseball cards. 25 baseball cards divided equally among 4 friends. How many times will 4 go into 2? It won't. How many times will 4 go into 25? It will go 6 times without going over. You multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. Then you subtract, and you have 1. You compare. 1 is less than 4. There is nothing to bring down, so 1 is your remainder. So you put R1. Then you come over here and it says to draw a picture to illustrate, so I've done that for you. And there are 4 friends, so I have 4 rows. And there will be 6 cards for each friend, so you need to circle the groups. There's 6, here's 6, and here's 6. Need to change pens, just 1 minute. And then there's 1 card that's left over. Number 2, 18 divided by 2. Think about socks. 18 socks divided into pairs. A pair is 2. So how many times will 2 go into 1? It won't. But how many times will 2 go into 18? We know that 18 divided by 2 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So there's nothing left over, no remainder. In your picture, you need to illustrate the pairs. So draw circles around each 2 socks. Now I put circles instead of socks. You can draw socks or you can draw circles. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. Number 3, 40 divided by 7. How many times will 7 go into 4? Well, it won't. So I'm going to put an X. How many times will 7 go into 40? It will go 5 times without going over. 5 times 7 is 35. And I subtract and get 5. I compare. 5 is less than 7, so there's nothing to bring down, so remainder 5. Now, think about 40 fish placed equally into 7 tanks. So I've drawn 7 tanks, and I've drawn X's for fish. So each tank will have 5 fish in it, but then there are 5 left over. So it says placed equally into 7 tanks. So if we were to put a fish in each one of those tanks, there would be 2 tanks that didn't have a fish. So that's your remainder. It will not go equally into the tanks. For problems 4, 5, 6, and 7, I want you to do those on your own for practice, and then have a parent check them and see if you're doing it correctly. And then on the back, page 158, this is the paper you will get a grade on. So the first one, you will draw your picture. The next one says solve the facts using the long division steps. So we've done that. Down here, here's a story problem for you, and you don't have to draw a picture, but you need to write your equations over here. It says solve and label. So you write your equation, you solve it, and you label it. You may need some scratch paper to do this, or there may be some space over here. But if you use a piece of scratch paper, would you staple it to this paper when you turn it in, please? Number 13 through 19 is multiplication. So have fun. Love you guys.